In this video, I'm going to show you how and why you should warm up before every workout. Warming up is something you need to do. It gets you physically and mentally ready for the activity you're about to do. Warming up allows the blood vessels to expand, which allows the blood flow to pump to the muscles and provide oxygen to the ones that need it the most during exercise. A cold muscle will tear when pulled, but a warm muscle will stretch when pulled. I have two warm-up routines, a warm-up for my upper body days and a warm-up for my lower body days. I'm going to start off with the upper body warm-up. I have a huge emphasis on warming up your shoulders. Clicky and bad shoulders are all too common nowadays. I know multiple people my age who are like old men, they're like, oh, whenever they like raise their arm, it's like, I never had shoulder problems with this warm-up routine, and I even gave it to my friend Gingy. This man is huge, he's a tank, he's about 200 pounds, mostly muscle, and he can bench 225 for reps. The only thing is that his shoulders hold him back. He literally couldn't even raise his shoulders all the way up because of how bad his mobility was. But after I gave him my routine, he was able to fix it almost instantly. For this routine, I always start off with 5 to 15 minutes on the treadmill. If you have pre-workout or an energy drink, you can sip on it now. I set the incline to 4 and the speed to 2. You should be able to maintain a conversation at this speed. If you're out of breath, lower the incline or the speed. I like to turn around and start walking backwards. Look at the way I strike with my toes and flex my heels at the very end of each step. This works and strengthens my tibia anterior muscle. Tibias are responsible for deceleration. It significantly reduces the amount of stress going on the knee joints. Strong tibias create strong knees. After some light cardio getting my blood pumping, I do some dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching is movement-based stretching. I like to throw my arms around a little bit, maybe do some windmills. This stretches out my shoulders, triceps, and chest. After this, I grab a PVC pipe. If your gym doesn't have a PVC pipe, then you can use a lat pull-down attachment. Maneuver the bar behind your shoulder and stretch it out like this. This feels incredible. It's like sticking a Q-tip in your ear, and it really opens your shoulders up. I also bend and squeeze the pipe to send blood to my muscles. You can use a resistance band for this as well if you don't have a pipe. I follow this up with wall angels. Keep as much of your body against the wall as possible. Your legs, glutes, feet, back, shoulder, arms, and your head should all be touching the wall. Bring your arms up to the wall and make them touch the top. This may look easy, but go slowly. If you have poor shoulder mobility, your arms may not be able to touch each other just yet, but keep on working until they can. When I started this, I couldn't touch the top. I then move on to the floor. I start hyperextending my spine, then relaxing it. After I do that a few times, I move it in circles. This lubes up your spine and it feels pretty good. Lubricating my spine and bending it up and down like this has made moving compound lifts so much easier, stuff like squat and deadlift. If you don't do this, please give it a try. Even if you're a little embarrassed, just do it. Like seriously, you will notice a difference. I finish my upper body off with dead hangs. This decompresses your spine. I just try to hang on as long as possible. I love the feeling of dead hangs. That's the end of the extended warm-up, but always remember, do a few warm-up sets for your first few lifts. Don't just slip under a bench and hit 215 raw, you're gonna kill yourself. My lower body routine is actually quite similar, but instead of focusing on my shoulders, I'm focusing on my hips. I had horrific hips for the entirety of my life. I didn't warm up for running for like the first 2 years of doing it, so I just have horrific knees and hips. I was literally like an 80-year-old man where like I'd walk around like fucking limping and shit. It was terrible. I start off with the same 5 to 10 minutes of walking on the treadmill. I then do my dynamic stretches with my legs. After the movement-based stretching, I use a foam roller to roll out. If you don't roll out, then I highly recommend giving it a try. In my experience, it helped reduce soreness, it made me feel less stiff, and it just feels great in general. It also reduces lactic acid. I follow the foam rolling up with this dynamic hip stretch. I get into this position known as 90-90s. I move my hips from side to side without touching the floor. I do this for 10 reps. Once I've completed the 10 reps, I stay in the 90-90s position. I straighten my back and I lead my chest into my knee. You will feel a deep stretch in your glute. If you can't reach your knee just yet, just keep on trying until you can. After you're done stretching your glute for about 10 seconds, grab the foot behind you and bring it in front of you. Place your back ankle on your front knee. Now close the gap and push the knee that is in the air as far down as possible without pain. Do this for 10 seconds. Repeat that with your other leg once you are done stretching. Another hip stretch I love is this one. To be completely honest with you guys, I don't know what it's called. A personal trainer showed me this back in the day. It's really helped with my ankle mobility and knee pain. Get into a lunge position while keeping everything straight. Point your toes where your knee is facing. Push your knee out and over your toes as much as possible. Keep on the heel of your foot. You should feel a deep stretch in your adductors and hips. I also do another variation of this stretch where I bring my knee forward with the pressure on my toes. This stretches your calves and makes your ankle more mobile. Repeat this with your other leg. I just want to apologize in advance for this next hip stretch I'm about to teach you. It is very beneficial for your health, but oh my god, it fucking sucks. You need to plant one foot against a pillar and hold it tightly. Keep as much of your body attached to the pillar as possible. Now bring your knee up, out, and around. It's supposed to look like this, but as you can tell, my hip mobility isn't good enough to do that yet while holding on to something. But believe it or not, this was a lot better than before. Do this 4 to 5 times with each leg. You have to be holding on to something. If you're not holding on to something, it's easy. I don't understand the science of it, but when you're holding on to something, God, it's hard. After that, finish up with lubing up your spine and decompress it, and you're good to go. This may sound like a lot and very daunting due to how much detail I went into, but it really only takes me 10 to 15 minutes to warm up before working out. Trust me, this makes your quality of life way better. If you just go into working out without warming up very well, you're going to be filled with pain. Joint pain, tendon pain. You're going to be stiff. You're not going to be able to move your arm above your shoulder. It's going to suck. I generally feel great all the time. I can bust out into a sprint without anything hurting. I'm very flexible. It's great. This video idea was actually given to me by a friend because they wanted to know how I got so mobile. If you want a video about anything fitness related or even lifestyle related, leave it in the comments below and I'll make a response to it. If you're watching this video, you're most likely a beginner at lifting because you looked up, how do I warm up? This channel's perfect for you. I have a playlist full of how to work out, and that's going to be linked at the end of this video. Check it out, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Revoke your humanity. You're inhuman!